Hi, this is Warlow from Business Loan Services and welcome to my Friday Business Finance Bulletin, my weekly roundup of news, tips, ideas and strategies on raising finance and dealing with banks. So what have I got for you this week? Well, I'm going to be looking at a new survey carried out by the Federation for Small Businesses, looking at confidence levels in the UK among small businesses. Going to be looking at a new service being launched by Experian, the credit reference agency, and a look at a rather unusual crowdfunding campaign which closed out this week. And in my tip of the week, well, it's a clip from an interview that I did recently talking about industry experience, what banks are looking for in your background. So let's start off with the survey carried out by the Federation for Small Businesses, looking at confidence levels in the UK. Now, perhaps not surprisingly, the survey did find that in this last quarter of 2014, confidence levels are not as strong as they have been in the previous quarters of 2014. And this does kind of mirror conversations I've had with a number of businesses over the last couple of weeks where confidence is beginning to wane a bit. It was very strong at the beginning of 2014 and going into the middle part of the year, but people are a little bit more cautious. Obviously, a lot of global events going on. In the UK, we're coming into a general election mid part of 2015. All of this is bringing a lot of uncertainty. However, having said that, the survey did find out that 62% of businesses say they are going to grow in 2015. So that's a very positive sign. Furthermore, 16% of businesses said that they had actually increased their staff numbers in the last quarter. So again, that's giving the economy a good boost. What about growth generally? Well, one of the barriers to growth that those businesses surveyed came up with, they said that 22% of them see finance costs as being a barrier. Costs are too high. Well, of course, shop around. As we know, if you've been watching previous bulletins, there are plenty of alternatives out there. So a little bit of a mixed message coming out of that survey, a dip in confidence, but many businesses are planning to grow next year, which is great news. Now, if you are planning to grow, it means you may need to access finance or get credit from your suppliers. Now, one area of assessment that many businesses ignore are their credit scores. Now, if you're operating a limited company, your limited company does have a public credit score. And Experian, one of the leading credit reference agencies, has realized that many businesses don't know what their limited company credit score is. And in fact, Experian found that about 40% of businesses have never gone and looked for their own credit score. So what they've done, they've come out now with a new service called My Business Profile. And it's an online subscription service available to limited companies where you can go in on a regular basis to check to see where your company credit score lies, have a look at the negatives and the positives that are influencing your score. You can have a look to see who searched against you recently. But more importantly, you will see what the lenders see. And so you'll be able to immediately pinpoint the weak areas when it comes to assessing your request and where your credit score needs to be improved. It's a great service, and I really have emphasized in many previous bulletins the importance of understanding your credit score, particularly at the lower end of the money that you're looking for. The lower end there, a lot of credence is given to credit scores. So if you want to find out more about My Business Profile, just go along to experian.co.uk/mybusinessprofile, and then you'll be able to find out a lot more about how that subscription service works. Now, crowdfunding. A rather unusual one caught my eye this week on Kickstarter. And basically, it was to crowdfund a mission, a scientific mission to the moon called Lunar Mission One. The idea is to try and get some cash together to send a probe in 10 years' time to the moon to do some experimental drilling in the rock and the south pole of the north, just to find out really on the composition of the moon generally. Now, this funding has been really quite successful. They were looking to raise £600,000 for the first tranche, and when it closed out at £672,000, so exceeded target, and about 7,000 people or investors put some money in. Now, the project is backed by a host of reputable scientists, and including famous media scientists such as Stephen Hawking and Dr. Brian Cox. So very credible. But it just shows how crowdfunding is just really taking shape, and really odd projects are now coming out there. Now, with Kickstarter, rewards are one of the things that investors get thanked for when they put money in. And so part of the reward scheme here was that you'll be able to place a memory box in the hole that they will be drilling on the moon. So just like a treasure box that you would bury at the end of your garden, and hopefully in 25 years time someone will pick it up. Well, just think you could have your memories stored in the moon forever. So it's a really interesting project. Now this £600,000 that has been raised is the first of many tranches to come. So it's a really interesting one to watch. So just pop along and look for Lunar Mission One if you're into astronomy generally, and just follow that one if you want a little bit of fun. So my business tip of the week. Well, this is a clip taken from a recent interview that I did, and it's all around about the experience that you have in your industry. Banks are not really keen on lending money to individuals unless they've got experience in the sector. So let's go to this clip now where I talk a little bit more about that. You've had your character assessed. So you're a jolly good egg and you're a good guy to lend or a good lady to lend money to. Everything's fine. But at the end of the day then, how good are you on delivering what you've said you can deliver in the business plan? Okay, so you've got to be able to show that you have the right qualifications to deliver this. So if you're in a technical sector and you've got qualifications that are relevant to the sector that you're in, shout out about them. Show that you've got those qualifications that are relevant. It may be that you have industry experience, especially if you're just starting out or started a business 2 or 3 years ago and looking for more funding. Industry experience is vital to a bank. So if you're going into a sector of which you've never been in before, I've had no understanding about the industry, the chances of you getting finance are quite low because you just don't know the pitfalls that are going to happen. And so if you've had experience and they really hammer that point home, but it's not only your experience and your ability as well, it's that of your staff, because they are the ones that will help you deliver your vision. So in your plan, make sure you address then what your staff will bring to the business, how you've trained them and their particular skill sets as well. So that's really the whole ability side, just demonstrating that you can deliver on the plan. So there we are. You can see experience is a big factor. Not only your experience, but experience of your staff as well. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this bulletin as ever, and please do share it amongst your business colleagues and friends if you think that it'll be of use to them. So that's it for another bulletin. Thanks very much for watching, and I look forward to being with you with the next bulletin. We'll be sharing more ideas, tips and strategies on raising finance and dealing with banks. Thanks very much. Bye-bye now.